3,400 rupees. That's what 14,000 people paid in Jan 2026 to run on public roads in Mumbai. Roads that they could run on free on any other given day. That single category, the 42 kilometers run, generated a revenue of 4.7 to 4.8 crores in just one morning. Add the half marathon, the 10K, the dream run and the virtual run, and you have a revenue of around 15 crores that is generated by running on public roads. But here's what's insane. The marathon itself isn't even the real business. The average runner doesn't stop spending after the race. They spend between 12,000 to 27,000 per year on things like shoes, nutrition, wearables and coaching to help their running. If a city has 50,000 active runners, it's not just a hobby community. It's building a 3,500 crore annual consumer market. So how did paying for running on public roads become normal in India? And how is this quietly building one of the cleanest, most repeatable business models in the country? Because what looks like a running boom is actually a distribution model disguised as fitness. So in today's video, we'll decode how marathons became an economic engine, why runners are the most valuable consumers in sport, and how this entire funnel prints money without anyone noticing. Because running isn't an exercise, it's a subscription business that happens on roads.
Now let's start with the million-dollar question. Why are Indians suddenly paying 3,000 rupees plus to run, to enter running competitions, expensive running shoes, and the list goes on? 10 years ago, this would have seemed a distant dream. Gyms were expensive. There was hardly any place to run. Roads were crowded. But now it became a necessity. Heart diseases, diabetes. Running was a recreational activity, but the impact on one's health started to take paramount importance. These days, running is a social activity. Run clubs, social media content, Instagram communities. It's fun. On top of that, new Indian athleisure brands and activewear brands have used running as a platform to launch, and it's all a lot of fun. In 2004, running became a serious business. Procam launched the Mumbai Marathon, which remains an exceptional property even till today. Marathons spread across the country, from Chennai to Delhi, and everyone looked towards India to see some very exciting running properties, half marathons, full marathons, 10Ks. It was fun. And global superstars came by as well. Now, what's the great USP of these running properties? 3 things: a definite start time, a controlled environment, and a finish line. People love to take part, love to check their timing and see how they improve. And along with the half marathons and the full marathons, there are lots of 5K and 10Ks as well. So along with the professional runners, the wider recreational group all came to the party.
Now, let's just look at the economics of one of the most premier running events that happen in India, the Tata Mumbai Marathon 2026. 14,000 participants took part in the full marathon, paying an amount of 3,400 rupees each. That's a revenue of 4.7 to 4.8 crores, which in itself is a staggering number. Now add the half marathon, the 10K, the dream run and the virtual entries, and you make a revenue of around 15 crores in just participation fees. By year 2026, the Mumbai Marathon isn't just a race. It's one of India's most premium and valuable sponsorship properties. Let's break it down and see how this property generates a revenue of between 90 to 150 crores. Let's see what buckets raise money for this. Bucket 1 is event sponsorships and participation fees. We see the title sponsor Tata's very prominently during all sponsorship activities of the property. But there are other sponsors in categories, sponsors like Red Bull, Asics, Amaron, who come on and sponsor and pay money to get visibility in these marathons. Sponsorship alone generated 50 to 60 crores for the Mumbai Marathon in 2026. Participation fees, as we explained, brought in another 15 crores. While charity contributions added 53 crores in 2026. taking the total value of the event to over 150 crores. It's interesting to see why brands associate with running events. Well, every brand tries to associate with it for different reasons. Standard Chartered taking the titled rights for the Mumbai Marathon in the first year was a game changer in my opinion. It showed a lot of brands that you could invest in other sports apart from cricket and still gain a lot of visibility. The success of the Mumbai Marathon saw a lot of marathons that came up in other cities, and brands like Airtel, Idea, IDBI came on and became title sponsors for such events. Running as a category suddenly saw a lot of interest from brands who wanted to get into the sport and make own IP for themselves. There is an important point why brands keep coming to sponsor these events year after year. There is guaranteed footfall, there is guaranteed participation which is increasing year on year, and you know that there is a city affinity why everybody participates, so there's a clear community that is built up because of this running event. Bucket 2 is the experience, the expo, the merchandise plus the tech. Before every marathon, every runner has to collect a bib. To collect a bib, he has to go visit a stall which is an expo that happens a couple of days before the marathon. If you're a brand who wants to associate with the marathon, you get space to advertise your product to put up a stall at this expo. So whether it's a nutrition product, a footwear brand, a tech product, anything that has got to do with running or wants to be associated with running can be present at this expo by paying a certain price. Brands pay for stalls, brands pay for activations, direct access to runners already in buying mode. On top of that, official merchandise, tech tees, finisher gear, timing data and race photos, which ranges from 100 to 200 per runner, compounds into crores. Certificates, ranking, finish videos. Individually small, collectively several crores more. Bucket 3, the ecosystem, virtual, CSR plus the elite halo. Virtual run is a pure margin. In 2026, 3,700 runners participated in the digital run. No police, no water stations, no roads. Just entry fees and a digital validation. It's low cost, high margin. CSR and charity is equal to strategic capital. In 2026, the Mumbai Marathon raised 53.7 crores for social causes. This money doesn't sit on organizers' books, but it's pure CSR magnet. Elite prize money is equal to premium positioning for the marathon. The prize purse is at 3.5 crores. This attracts international media attention, global athletes, and positions the race as one of Asia's most important races. Putting all these buckets together, conservatively, an event generates between 90 to 150 crores per year. But what has been the most interesting aspect of the marathon is that most brands have figured out that the runners are far beyond that one single day when they participate in that marathon. They are a high value prospect for them year round as they prepare to participate in this marathon.
Now, running is by no means a simple activity, and a runner is a very high value consumer. Let's face it, it can cost you anywhere from 8,000 to 15,000 rupees for a good pair of running shoes. Your apparel, that costs you anywhere from 8,000 to 10,000, sometimes more. Specialized running shoes, specialized apparel, that's important, and it's a growing industry in India. And this is where sports tech comes in. These tech variables are important. Runners like to track their progress, their heart rate, put it on social media. This is not just good business, it's a multi-crore industry built on the backs of running. Don't forget sports nutrition. Sometimes you've got to spend over 20,000 a year. This is another important aspect. Now let's add this all up together. Your nice shoes, your wearable tech, and your expensive nutrition products. A recreational runner could be spending anywhere from 12,000 to 30,000 a year. Now, if a city keeps building their communities in running from the hundreds to the thousands and maybe more, you know how this is all contributing to the 3,500 crore industry. Now, how do you convert your recreational runner from I'll try this Sunday, maybe I'll try next weekend, to a serious consumer? This is where the last mile comes in. Now, this is what sometimes a few people get wrong. Run clubs didn't build running in India. It was the marathons, the 5Ks and the 10Ks that started all the way back in 2004. Runners and participants wanted that medal, wanted that certificate, and wanted to see how their timings get better. Run clubs entered after that and decided to monetize this discipline WhatsApp groups, community building, and suddenly people wanted to come on Sunday, the following Sunday after that, and this led to the growth of the run club phenomenon. And then running moved from a hobby to a service. We were happy to pay for a coach. We were happy to pay to enter a run club. We were happy to pay for our physio at the end of a 2-hour session on Sunday. So that's where the monetization came in, and we were monetizing a service. Now, what makes this business model very different to other sports? And what's the USP with running?
A runner doesn't need a team. A running event doesn't need a mega star, a celebrity athlete to participate. A running event doesn't need a lot of infrastructure that it needs for an event to be held. And yet, it works. Traditional sports need teams to bankroll year after year, star athletes, broadcast deals deciding survival, star athletes whose injuries crash viewership, broadcast deals deciding survival, while running needs public roads, temporary logistics, operating cost, not capital cost. Running as an IP scales brilliantly. It can be replicated across cities. It can be customized so that city participation is at its utmost. Cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Calcutta, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, and even smaller tier 2 cities have started to have their own marathons now.
So Akhil, you've got an interesting anecdote to share on the early origins of running.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite stories. I had a friend who used to work at ProCam in their early days when they started the marathon, and he always gives this interesting insight where why the popularity of the marathon spiraled is when Anil Ambani started running on the roads. He's been quoted in a lot of interviews saying that he was overweight and he started running to lose weight and stay fit. So when the Mumbai Marathon was in its original early phase, he started running on the roads, and that was captured by Times of India, who was an important strategic partner for ProCam, I think. So when people saw Anil Ambani running on the roads, they realized that this could be something that if an influential person is doing this, it's something that became aspirational, and that gave a huge impetus to the marathon in the early years.
And we've also seen with a lot of these recreational run clubs, it's almost leading into growth of a lot of other businesses, nutrition companies, Indian athleisure brands, Indian sports brands, new running shoe brands. So do you see that growing exponentially with the growth of these various running communities?
Yeah, definitely, because we've personally seen a lot of brands get into this and try and maximize their business out of it, right? We've seen brands like Puma, and we've seen Bhavisha get into it. They had started a property called as Urban Stampede many years ago. Nike has done a beautiful property in Mumbai, which was a night run recently in 2025. So each brand is, I think, trying to occupy a space which could help their business.
Oh, exciting. So that concludes our very exciting chat today on running in India and this new thriving business. Let us know if you're part of a run club, or if you just enjoy running every now and then, and if you have a new favorite Indian sports brand that you've purchased to get into this running ecosystem.
Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel.